Hey fellow gamers, I want to take you quickly through what I'm finding to be a very effective Druid build for Season 2. It's very tanky, does great area damage, and does great damage one-on-one. The best part about the build is you don't need any specific uniques to make it work. Now the build we're running is a Shred build. I'm going to quickly talk about the skills utilized, we'll look at a couple aspects, and then I'll explain the play style for this build. Now the main skills that we're using are Poison Creeper and Shred. The resource generator is Storm Strike. We also utilize Earthen Bulwark, Blood Howl, and Trample. Now with Storm Strike as our resource generator, you have a chance to apply Vulnerable, and you also have a chance to immobilize enemies. Shred as our main damage dealer is great because it's highly mobile. It's almost like you teleport to enemies, so you can bounce around between big groups of enemies, hitting all of them very quickly in very quick succession. A Poison Creeper is great because not only does it have a big area of attack, it applies a great deal of damage, and you've applied a lot of crowd control to a lot of enemies. We've got Blood Howl, which is a great defensive skill, but can also be used offensively because it's a werewolf skill. We've got Earthen Bulwark, which is also great because it's a were-bear skill, and it's an earth skill. So it's great for defensive and offensive. And then we've got Trample, which is great for closing distance between enemies, great for mobility, great for giving yourself a little bit of space, so it can be used as well, both defensively and offensively. As far as the gear goes, there's really not much that's essential. There's definitely stuff that will help, and I'll show you 4 aspects that I'm running that really make this build a lot more fun and definitely boost damage. The first aspect that we've got is for Shred, and critical strikes with Shred deal a percentage of the damage dealt as lightning damage to the target and surrounding enemies. We've got another one for Shred that goes very well with Poison Creeper, and that's while dashing, Shred seeks out nearby poisoned enemies, instantly dealing a percentage of the poisoning damage to them. So that means that any amount of damage that they've been poisoned for, it immediately applies. This is great, so you don't have to wait for the damage to tick down. The third aspect that's great, and it also goes with Poison Creeper, is that Poison Creeper's active also casts Landslide in a circle around you, and Earth skills deal a percentage of increased damage to poisoned enemies. So not only is it giving you a Landslide skill active every time you hit Poison Creeper, but it's also boosting your Earth skill damage. If you don't like Shred and you want to run an Earth build, you can definitely do that, and this aspect is great for that as well. The last one goes with Trample, and you've probably seen this quite a bit, but Trample now summons 6 Landslide Pillars of Earth during its duration that deal a percentage of normal damage, and Trample is now also a Nature Magic and Earth skill. Now these 4 aspects really work well in synergy. Poison Creeper definitely holds them all together, and by having all these 4 aspects together, Poison Creeper gives you Earth skills, it gives you Poison, which is damage over time, crowd control. With your resource generator, you're getting some immobilization and stun. And then with Shred, you're activating that quick poison, you're hitting a lot of enemies quickly, and it's a pretty good damage dealer just by itself. There's also some other gear that when you switch between Werebear and Werewolf, it boosts your damage as well, and you might get a chain reaction, as you can see in some of this video footage. So that can work really well together too. Now the playstyle is pretty straightforward. You run into a pack of enemies, you hit Poison Creeper, it starts to poison and damage everybody around you. It starts to cast landslides all by itself. Already, you've probably killed or done some serious damage to a lot of the enemies around you. Then you start generating resources and you start shredding. If you need a little bit of defense, you can hit Earthen Bulwark. If you need to boost your HP a little bit, you can hit Blood Howl, and you can always Trample to close the gap on some enemies, or just spread yourself out and give yourself a little bit more space. Now lastly, just touching on the vampiric powers, I've been playing around with them quite a bit. I honestly don't think that it makes too big of a difference what your assembly is of the vampiric powers. I would say that anything that gives you boost to damage over time is going to work really well with the poison in Poison Creeper, but play around and see what works. I hope this video helped. If it did, hit the like button and hit the subscribe button and leave a comment letting me know what you liked about it or what you didn't and what you'd like to see on the next video. You can also catch me over on Twitch. Links are going to be in the description. And as always, thanks for watching. This was not Adam Driver, and I'll catch you on the next one.